Hello and welcome to Analyst Hangout. I am Perpetua Fasumi Peter. Well, joining me today, I have right with me in the studio, Ambrose Amodion, the Chief Research Officer of Invest Data Consulting. Good to have you join us today.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. And we also have right here with us in the studio, Charles Fakroha. He's a stockbroker and trader. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Perpetua.
Okay, and joining us virtually, we have Mr. We have Mr. Kurufi Garuba, the MD, APT Securities and Funds Limited. Thank you for joining us. And moving on, we'll
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Moving on, we'll also have joining us later virtually, Olumiyiwa Adeyemi, the MD Atlas Portfolios Limited, and we'll also have Jario Betunde Shegun, Independent Stock Market Analyst with TradeLines.biz Investment Limited. And of course, Aaron Akebe Rajiva will also be joining us virtually. He's the Managing Director and CEO of Global View Capital Limited. Well, good to have everyone today. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. You?
Very well, thank you. Hope you had a great day.
Yes.
Well, it's evening already, so yeah, that's why I said hope you had a great day. Well, let's start with a review of the equities market. Let's start with you. Give us an overview of what's been happening, basically. Let's have you first.
I would say the market has been bearish in the short trading week for the last 2 days. The market in the south direction. But for me, that should not send any panic to the market. It's expected that after market have rallied all the way to giving us about 20% return year to date. See market correcting for the month of June, and as market is also looking ahead of numbers, market is still oscillating. It's not a thing that market should panic, but as an investor, yes, this is time for you to know whether you're a baby investor or an amateur or a professional. But I tell you that at market is trending during this level, it's not a time for you to panic, but target those stocks that have good fundamental. But traders that are using technical analysis, this is the time you know professionals. They know stock that give you spike, they enter and come out. But for those that are not looking at fundamental, they will be a bit confused because fundamental will always be there, whether the market is up or down. But for those that are technicians, know where there's a spike in the stock, but they are looking at some volume and price movement. But you that are fundamental, at least you are just looking at, this stock is undervalue, overvalue, but don't know the right price to enter. But a technician will know the right price to buy because he's watching the behavior, the psychology of people that are trading the market. That's why I said investors should not panic at this time, but rather let's see the numbers coming from for half year result or Q2, what we call it. That will give us an insight. But also, don't forget that what is happening globally is also going to reflect on this company performance. Even locally here, what is happening in our domestic economy here, is also what's going to happen at the end of the day. But the number is very, very interesting. When you hit the market, let's know the state of the market, so that will also change the flow of funds and investors' behavior.
On a lighter note, now you talked about baby investors. So what do baby investors do at this point in time?
No, they are fearful investors.
Well, let's have your thought. We have a stockbroker, and I think I should announce your debut, right, on Analyst Hangout. It's good to have you join us. You already can see what he's wearing. Exactly. He's a trader and he's a stockbroker. We are glad to have you, and you're welcome.
Thank you. As soon as I'm through here, I'll be rushing down to my machine so that I can point some of the numbers. Okay, yes, Ambrose has said it all. The market for the past few weeks has been a little bit bearish, and again, for we as traders who continue to advise our customers, our clients, you should not just be unnecessarily panicking. This is just oscillation here and there, up and down. When you have frequent buying and selling, prices are bound to go up and come down. Like you said, the fundamentals are there. But again, you mentioned baby investors. Yes, for those baby investors, I will encourage them, please get in touch with your stockbroker. Do some little understanding, the basis of the market. So like you said, some of the things you need to understand, you can be telling your broker, because brokers are people who listen very well. And they want all investors to take advantage of the market maximally. You are investing your funds. And they are also taking your risk appetite. I will not advise every investor the same way I would advise. I will look at your risk profile. I'll look at your age. So for H2, what we should be expecting is investors should do their little homework. Even the so-called technical analysis is not a difficult thing.
Okay.
It's something everybody can understand. If you
might also break that down.
Yes, that is like what Ambrose have said. You just to look at the pattern of movements, volume, price movement, because we have said past movements usually indicates future movement. However, it's not always 100% correct. But it gives you another alternative. It gives you can now combine fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and you come with an informed decision. So if you are able to do that with your stockbroker's guidance, you will see that you will not panic. If you see prices of equities coming down, you will know that at the end of the day, the fundamentals are still there. So we're all waiting for H2 numbers to come, and of course, the Nigerian market is not insulated from what is happening globally. And like we always say, the market is a barometer of the Nigerian economy. We just pray that the economy will improve. But of course, not only prayers, the numbers, if they come out, and of course they're not too favorable, well, the market will react.
Yeah.
All right, well, we have with us Mr. Garba. Now, Mr. Garba, let me take you on this. Inflation continues to rise across the globe, just like our analysts in-house have already said, and we see that all eyes are on June Consumer Price Index reports, now which is expected to come from NBS any moment from now. Now, how are investors reacting to this particular reality?
Well, the reality is inflation keep on going up, and it's likely to continue.
Yes.
So the only way that you don't keep Naira, because if you keep Naira, you get your money devalued, and therefore your purchasing power will keep on declining. So the best thing, you either convert it into hard currency or you convert it into asset. And the most likely asset that is more flexible and liquid is equity. So my advice, please take your position in the equity. Already, the equity gives us a 20% return, but we're hopeful that with the half-year result releasing, and assure the investors that they are on the right.
Okay, I think he's talking about the half-year results and how that it will also help investors in making informed decision. If you can hear me, please go ahead, Mr. Garba. Okay.
The information is clear to the market. By the time the information is clear to the market, you can't get it. We are all living witnesses of what happened to academic press. Before they release the result, people have taken position. And those who have taken position today, they are better off. But those who are just pursuing the stock after the market have released the result, now they are where they are. So we want the investor to take position on most of the stock that are at the right price before the information is out to the market.
Okay, now let me come in here now. Now, central banks have actually continued to hike rates globally. Should the United States Fed increase their benchmark interest rate by over 100 basis points, which of course is known as 1%, what impact will this have on emerging market economies, especially Nigeria?
Well, the impact is that it's more of the foreign investors, and they are playing less in our market. So most of the foreign investors, they decided to invest where the interest rate is very high, especially in view of the fact of what is happening in UK, what's happening in US. But good enough, the exposure of the foreign investors in our market is less than 20%, and it has little impact to our market.
All right. I saw you affirming, responding in the affirmative while he spoke.
Yeah, no, I like that. I already just said it, but let me just add one or two things to the inflation, globally on the rise. What it tells you that as an investor, you don't need to keep your money where you can't hedge against inflation. Because the more the inflation rally, the more your money become valueless.
Now you've touched on something very important. Hedging, that's very important. So yes, continue on that.
No, then for you to be on the money side as an investor, you need to know stocks or instruments that will give you above what inflation at any climate, what it is. For example, now we know that in US now, this is almost the 40 years high, and the hottest one for almost since 1981, hitting about 9.1.